Hello, my name is Carole. Welcome to the room at the bottom of my garden, not my sewing room. This is #Friday Sews. Now, I've got lots to chat to you about today, but one fun thing I want to start my video off with. On my channel this week, I revealed my Sew Phoenix project. So that is a wonderful challenge being done by three lovely ladies. I'll put all the details down below. Ends at the end of September, so you've only got a couple of days left. But I wanted to recreate this, and this is the first ever thing I made, Hedgehog. So I did recreate it. Didn't come out quite as well as I thought. That's the Hedgehog's new little partner. Of course, he always features in my Friday Sews intro, which I've had for the same for about 3 years. So I've had to redo it with a new edition. So stay tuned for this fun new little intro. Believe me, you don't want to know how many times I had to film that. Honestly, the beauty of invisible thread, but oh my word, I just lost count, but I had so much fun doing it. So on my channel, I'm very light-hearted. Sewing is my hobby. I don't take it too seriously. So I like to share fun things, and I'm hoping you like the new intro and that can stay with me for another 3 years. So I said I've got lots to talk to you about. I've made a pair of trousers that they're okay. They're not great, but I'll wear them. I want to show you my finished project dresser girl dresses. They're all bundled up ready to be posted, so I thought I'd show them to you first before they go. I tried something new this week and decided I'm useless at it. Yeah, I've got some new pants to show you. Oh, and I did one of these Instagram sort of creations. You know, these very short Instagram things where they show you how to make something quickly. Made one of those, so lots to chat about. Nearly forgot that I will also put in my Fridays 5 in 5. So that is 5 me-made garments that I've worn this week in 5 minutes. Now, I was doing this for the month of September, so this will be the last one. It's been great fun to do and great fun to show you some of my past makes. But obviously, as the season is more or less the same at the moment, I'm wearing the same things, so that's going to get boring, isn't it? So we'll leave it a break for now. But right, let's start with a pair of trousers. Now, it isn't quite like my #a different view because I have made these before, so that will be cheating. But good old New Look 6216, I remade these pairs of trousers. Now, as I said, I've made them a long time ago. The note on the pattern, I put 10 oversized, maybe try 8. But that was a few years ago, so I went ahead and did the 10. Now, a lot of people have great success with these. I think for me, it was the fabric. It was the fabric that have made them a bit meh. Not the pattern, because I don't remember them looking quite as bad on me as they do now. The thing was, I had some cotton twill fabric. This is really hard to buy online, isn't it? Because it doesn't feel too nice. It's not like some nice soft sort of twill that you can get. So it wasn't great fabric to start with. What I wanted to make was these Butterick 6998. These are fake kind of just flaps, but you've got proper pockets. But because the trousers are in 2 pieces, it took way more than the 1.50 m that I had. So try as I might, I could not get it out of this fabric. So my second choice was to go with this. This is a great pattern. Obviously, it's quite old now, so you've got the turn-up hems, which I haven't put on. I've made them kind of slightly above the ankle, maybe not enough, but I don't know. So they come out quite stiff. I have had to take them in an inch either side of around the hip area because they were just too bulky. They are designed to be kind of loose fitting, but they were just a bit too wide on the hips. So I have done that. Let me just show you. Obviously, I will put in footage of me wearing them. They are elasticated full waist, which is creating a bit of bulk here, being maybe a little too big. Nice pocket detail though. This is my favourite type of pocket, which was included in the pattern, which was great. No pockets on the back, but I put my normal 2 back pockets on for my phone. I have included a tie. I'm not sure about it. I'll probably use it just to cinch it in a little bit and then tuck it in rather than having it dangling down while I'm wearing it. They're just not very feminine, are they? There's not much I can do to make them feminine other than making the top bit look pretty. But so often on the channel I say, it isn't great, not sure if I'll wear it, and then I end up wearing the garment forever. So definitely be warm. They are very comfy because I just fed up of being restricted in tight trousers now. I've had a summer of elasticated waist and I can't get my head around wearing tight jeans. So yeah, they're okay. New Look 616, the trousers, yeah, a winner, but probably just the fabric I chose. So I'm going to put in my Friday's 5 garments in 5 minutes right here. First one we're going to start with. You won't believe it, but it's pyjamas. It's Simplicity 9337, and the reason I'm showing you pyjamas because it's autumn in the UK and the nights are cold, so I've dug out my long pyjamas, and this is a pattern that I use every single time. These were made a good few years ago, and if you look at the fabric, I might come back to mushrooms later on in the video, but they're so comfy. They are tighter fitting. I have got a pyjama bottom pattern that I use sometimes as well, but this one I've made again and again. Got lovely pockets here. I'm going to be showing this again in a minute, but I've used this for my daughter. I do the shorts version in the summer. Just a cozy pair of pyjamas, and I can just get it out of 2 meters for myself. So absolutely love these. So they're a good few years old now, so they're a bit pale, but super pyjama pattern 9337. So a couple of years ago I wanted kind of a pair of cotton jersey joggers, so I got the pattern out. I got the pyjama patterns again, Simplicity 9337, and I made them out of just a dark grey cotton jersey. And as you can see, the pyjama pattern also lends itself to kind of a jogger pattern because of course it's got that knitted cuff on the bottom. And I wore these this week when it was cold, and I came back in one evening and I just threw them on. This one I'm wearing, talked about a lot recently, it's Simplicity 85291 from last year, so I'm not going to talk about that. But yeah, you see, you can easily use a sleepwear pattern just for a pair of joggers. Again, these are a couple of years old, so they're quite faded, but certainly successful. So it's my mum's birthday this week, so we went out for lunch. Again, just a pub, so I didn't want to look too dressy. Funnily enough, this is in my autumn plans to make, probably next week. Simplicity 8556. It's this simple top here. Made this, I think, about 2 years ago, not sure. I wore it a lot in my videos last year. Anyway, so it is just made out of a viscose challis. It's just an easy sort of loose top. It does have a yoke detail in the back with a bit of a pleat. Has got kind of a high-low hem going on, but the back hem is curved, which is what I really, really like. And I love wearing this. This is slightly tight on me when I bring my arms forward. So the next one I'm making slightly bigger. I wore it with these trousers, but I've talked about these before. They're Simplicity 7196, I think. But yeah, I've already featured these, so I can't talk about those. But yeah, this Simplicity top. Now, it was a bit chilly, so I'll show you what I put on to keep a bit warmer. Because I wanted to throw something on top, I did remember that I had this in the wardrobe. Now, this was one of those disasters that I managed to save. I had this New Look pattern 6729, and this here is like the Harper cardigan by Sinclair Patterns, I think, and everybody talks about. But I thought I'd make it up. It looked dreadful. The side splits were too big. Showed it in a video probably about 18 months ago now. So I turned it in, I cropped it all off, put a hemband on the bottom, made it more like the Marlowe cardigan, if you're familiar with that, by somebody, can't remember who. But yeah, I made it cropped, put a band on the bottom and kind of saved it, and it was in this sweatshirt fabric. So I was always really pleased with that, and I do get a lot of wear out of it. But this for me was not a great pattern, but it just shows that you can save almost anything. But yeah, not great pairing, but I just thought I'd show you what I did put on to keep warm this week. Now this was quite a success. I think I made in the early part of this year. It was Simplicity 1499, this quilted vest. Now you will have seen me wearing it because it is the perfect time of wear. It is gilet weather in the UK. This was out of a really lightweight pre-quilted fabric, which I bound all the edges, and I love it because it's lightweight. It's just that little bit of a layer. I was really pleased with this. And it's bright, it's fun. I didn't wear it with what I've got on, but you can see in the video. But it's just handy for dog walking and just a light layer. I was really pleased with this pattern, and I would definitely make it again. You've got the kind of princess lines down here, so it doesn't make it as boxy as some other styles. But yeah, Simplicity 1499, a gilet. I hope you enjoyed watching that, and as I said before I put the 5 and 5 in, quite often I make a garment, it turns out a bit of a disaster, a bit of tweaking, and it's something I wear all the time, and that's proved yet again. So Project Dresser Girls, 8 dresses all ready to go now. 4 of size 4ish, 4 of a size 2. Now I say age 2, but what I've actually done is written the chest sizes on, because our H2, if you're going to quite a malnourished area, they're not going to be the same size as our 2-year-olds and 4-year-olds. So that's why I've popped the measurements on this time. But they're going to go off to the UK ambassador. It's just too expensive to send to America now, but if I remember, I will put them on Mariso's Instagram, so she can count and put them in with her count. But yeah, I'll put the details of the UK ambassador down below, just in case everybody really wanted to know. But I'm going to send those off. So this fun little Instagram challenge I had was, I saw something and I thought that's going to be really handy. I can't even find a photo to show you because Instagram is so annoying. You watch something and then it disappears and you can never find it back. But what it was kind of something you hang on to, say, a rucksack, just a zip, and the idea is you would put something through it. If you want to take your jacket off, you'd have somewhere to hang it. This is the finished thing. So I'd no idea how to do it. The Instagram said, oh, click, private message me if you want the pattern. Well, I don't risk things like that. So I just kind of worked it out for myself. It is a zip, but it's a one-way zip. So that's one piece looped round. Probably better if I show you. Yeah, so as you can see, you just kind of loop it round. And that is basically all it is, but you just covered. So you made some binding and covered the zip. And then you made a little tab at the top and put one of these on. This is the biggest one I've got, and it's small. So the idea is, I'll have to try and find something in this room, but you would put your, say, if you've taken your hoodie off and it's warm, you put it through there, you zip it down, and it'll keep it secure and you can hang it on your bag. I haven't tested this yet, so I'm not going to rave about it. All I'm happy with is that I have recreated what I saw, but I am yet to test it. I want to test it when it's just my husband and I walking, rather than my rambling group, because I think if it fell, the top fell off in the mud and it didn't work, then I'd be embarrassed, but my husband would be fine. So yeah, that's the idea. So that was fun to make. If it's successful, I'll try and show you how to do it, but it really is one piece of zip, binding around the outside, put a tab, add that on, and Bob's your uncle. One thing I forgot to mention about those trousers, please tell me I'm not the only one that has done this. This week I have 2 scars down my legs that size. Really sore scars. Because what did I do? I had them pinned together, forgot one pin when I took them out, tried the pair of trousers on, the pin was on the inside, and it just went down my leg. Oh, if you have done that, you will know how sore that is. Initially, it's not kind of red at all, is it? It's just a scratch mark. But then as it just gets redder and redder, honestly, I look like I've been through the walls with these 2 sort of 4-inch scars down the inside of my leg. Oh, still hurts. And that was Monday. But anyway, okay, so what else did I have to talk to you about? No, it was my mum's birthday this week, and I always try to make her a card. I recently made a card sort of sewn on applique pieces onto a card. Now I've got an embroidery machine, so I've used that before, applique, but I did something different with some candles. But I wanted to do something along that line. Now I'm not very artistic, but I can copy. So I found a picture, I'll put it in, of a card that I wanted to recreate, and I had a go, and I had an absolute ball. So it was just 9 little squares, and I'm talking they were tiny, sewing them together to make a tiny little quilt. And then it's got a zigzag around the edge. Obviously I haven't got the card, so I'll put photos in. Zigzag around the edge, but then you had to free motion a bow around the top. I had never done free motion, and I know I've got many quilting friends that are absolutely amazing at it, so I thought I'd have a go. It's blooming hard, I have to say. So I think I was trying to, when I started off, I had all the right feet on there and everything, and I dropped the feed dog. I think I was trying to push it through too much. The stitches were going all over the place. I just tried to make some swirls. Look at this, look at this. What's going, sorry quilters, don't look at this. It was all over the place, it just kept jumping. It was obviously the way I was holding it, and the fact I was still trying to work it through like you would with normal fabric. I did get better though. I started doing a bit more swirls, managed to try and do a flower. I just kind of tried to keep doing shapes really. Managed to do some swirls, but then what I wanted to do was try to follow some lines. Obviously I was going to be free motion quilting on the card, and that's where it made it much harder. I did a bit and then realised that if I had some kind of interfacing behind, that would make it a bit thicker and a bit more stable. So eventually I got the hang of doing it, and I thought enough's enough. We've spent enough time on this card, so I did it. Now the original design obviously was meant to be a bit shaky anyway, a bit rough, and that's how mine turned out. But she was pleased with it anyway, and I was pleased with the finished result. But I think before I do anything like free motion again, I ought to properly look it up. Or maybe it was just harder because I had one layer of fabric rather than a quilt. I don't know. I'm sure you'll tell me the answers to that. But so that was my little dabble into free motion quilting. Won't be doing that for a while again. So the last thing I wanted to show you was some patterns. Somebody told me that there's a big 50% off Simplicity sale. Now I use sewdirect.co.uk to get my patterns. I'm a member there. I think I pay £16 every half year, and I get certain discount off, but you don't get discount off discounted patterns. So although I've got some Simplicity here, I also got my normal 30% off some other patterns. So I'm collecting patterns, but I didn't really need any of these, but they will be useful in the future. So first of all, I've got Simplicity 8518. Now this is loungewear, but I am pretty sure, you know those trousers I've just made, aren't they similar? They have got a fake fly in front, which is quite a nice detail. On a similar theme, Simplicity 9019, again, you've got a very easy pair of trousers here, but I did actually like this kind of, it's not a hoodie, you've got like a roll neck detail, or you've got the kangaroo pocket. Now I thought that would be quite a nice thing to make. Obviously you've got the girls sizing as well in there, so that's perfect. What else did I get? Simplicity 96, I must learn to read the numbers backwards. 9690. Now I've toyed with this pattern for a long time, but I thought actually just get it. Again, pair of trousers, really basic trousers those are. You've got this kind of t-shirt with kind of the flutter sleeve. I haven't checked that. I think that's a cutout on the shoulder, so I would not be doing that. Actually, let me open it up and I'll see if I can get a better detail by looking at the thing. Yeah, I think it's some kind of split on the shoulder. I wouldn't do that anyway, or it might just be a bit of colour blocking, mightn't it? But yeah, there you go, you can see it in better detail on there. Oh, you notice that the trousers have got like a pin tuck down the front. So I bought that one. Then I bought a Burda pattern 5705, and the reason is for these long sleeve tops, because that is what I wear a majority of during certainly this time of year. It's got one with a kind of flutter collar here, gathered collar. That's, I wouldn't wear that with the gathered sleeves, but kind of a higher neck, but not a roll neck. Just basic. That's me, always basic. I'm talking about basic, and a new look 6815. I haven't seen this one before, but it could be that it's a re-release. But again, the long sleeve tops, just a straight jersey skirt. I'm not sure about this detail. I've never done one, never done this on me. It has got a slightly higher neck, so I do like that. I'm not sure about the sleeves. But yeah, and useful, all useful basic patterns. And that's me really, isn't it? Because I can get those and I can tweak them to any fashions that I see around. In the video I put out this Tuesday showing my So Phoenix make, I also talked about my autumn plans, dare I say plans. I have actually started on one of them and I cut another one out, so I'm doing well so far. Now I am wearing a Arc Raph top. Funnily enough, that is one of the ones that I showed on Tuesday to make, and I have cut it out and I've made a start on it. Now I made two before, and I have to, and one a very basic one out of some sort of thrifted sheet, and then I made this one. The problem with this, it's a lovely pattern, but the problem is this placket detail here, which is always hard on every single pattern I've ever done that has this design. This one was awful because it went up, but I couldn't remember how to do it. But the funny thing was, I looked back on my channel and I actually did more or less a tutorial for it. So I was so grateful to myself. So I have, the next one I've just done is slightly better than this. So just got to finish it off and I'll show you next week. But yeah, this was the Arc Raph top. I like it because it's jersey, mid-length sleeve. It's just got a flat collar, not a collar stand. It's casual but smarter. So that's what I'll be showing next week, hopefully, and anything else I've been sewing. Now the photos I am going to show at the end. So I think this is my third autumn, and I've been doing photos at the end of my videos from more or less the very start of my channel, because when I first did a Friday Sews, I didn't like the fact it just sort of ended and I went goodbye and then that was it. So I started adding some photos, and I still do, and I always will do, because I do get a lot of good comments about them. Now this time of year it's always mushrooms. The fungi and mushrooms are coming up in the forest, so I am afraid this video is going to contain some fungi mushroom footage, because I just have to photo them. When I see them I have to take a photo, and I was on the hunt for my favourite fungi. Didn't think I was going to find it, but I did, and I put a little bit of footage in, so that was amazing. I've done another walk with some ramblers this week. That was great, spotted some fun things in the country, so I'm going to put those photos in as well. That was over in the New Forest. We did come across a cow, a breed of cow I have never seen before, that looked like a bear or a hairy teddy bear. It was crazy, so I'll put that in. But I think that's about it. We've got a really busy weekend, and I'm actually having to give up my sewing room for accommodation. So we've got the two boys staying with us on Saturday night, and then we're shipping them back home, and then we've got my son coming down with his family. So and my husband has got a cough, so we've got to ship him out into another room. And so my sewing room is going to be a bedroom over the weekend, which is dreadful because it means I've got to clear everything away. So I'm not sure how much sewing I'm going to get done next week. Also, I am being left with their dog called Rory. Now, I was always scared of dogs, petrified, until we had a dog of our own. So I'm much better with dogs now, and certainly the one that my daughter has, Reggie, who was 10 yesterday. Yeah, we made a birthday cake for him. Sorry, I'm rambling on now. Boys and me made a birthday cake for him, a special dog birthday cake, and I'll put that photo in as well because they decorated it. But I've got Rory, which is my son's dog, and he's a little bit different. I'm used to spaniels, and he's a labradoodle. So he's a little bit bigger, a little bit different in character, but I'm being left with him alone next week. So I will admit I am nervous because it's a dog I don't know too well, and my husband's on a course, leaving me, abandoning me. They're going away for a week. I'm just left with Rory. So please wish me luck. Because I know it'll be fine. I keep telling myself it'll be fine. But yeah, I might have some company in the sewing room next week with me. I'll have to make sure the floor is cleared of pins. But yeah, Mickey, my dog, never used to come in my sewing room. He knew not to, but Rory might, so pins would be cleared. So that is enough of my rambling this week. Thank you so much for joining me. If you are subscribed, I thank you so much. If you aren't, I'm still thanking you so much for being here. This channel, as I said, is very light-hearted. I don't make fancy clothes. I don't need fancy clothes. Sometimes I wish I could have a go at something a bit more elaborate, but I don't need it. So until I do, I won't be making anything like that. Thank you. Have a wonderful weekend and week ahead, and I wish you all the best, everybody, and happy sewing. So I was walking along feeling all disillusioned, thinking I've missed the fungi, my favourite ones. There's lots out here, but very few fly organic. And then I come across this. I just saw the glimpses of it hidden under this bush, which is a rhododendron bush. Oh, aren't they amazing? There's something about them that reminds me of Enid Blyton fairy tales. They are true beasts, but they're very poisonous, so I'm not going to be touching them. So just as I was getting up, I think I have spotted another one hidden under here. Oh yes! Oh, look at a tiny one as well. Oh, aren't they amazing?